Hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thank you very much for joining us for our Tuesday weather video. Well, for the first time in several weeks, we are tracking a nationwide rainmaker. It's moving in at the moment. We've put on the air pressure today, showing low pressure here in the purple blue colouring and high pressure in the yellow. So this is a big system and it is driving in some rain pretty much to every region. The rainfall totals do vary because of our mountains and ranges, and also because the rain band itself coming in from this subtropical side is a little patchy and broken. There's some areas with dry spells, others with quite heavy downpours. But overall, I think most people will get a bit of a soaking, and it's good news because the upper North Island is drier than average. Rain's also going to come into Canterbury out of the tropics. Now, over the last few days, we've had a lot of forecasts about downpours that haven't affected everybody. Showers are by the very nature hit and miss. You don't always get them. But I want to explain just very quickly, this line here between the high pressure and the low pressure, where it sort of changes color, that is the area where it is really, really hard to forecast showers. They can form on the low pressure side and start to drift into the high pressure, which is what it's been doing over the last few days over the upper North Island. And that's why some of those showers look very dramatic on the rain radar, but as they drifted towards you, they completely melted, fell apart, and that's because it was running into high air pressure. Now that we've got lower air pressure, the rain's more widespread and easier to forecast. So this is how it looks on Wednesday. We've got periods of rain for Tuesday. On Wednesday, that heavy stuff moves away and it's windier. Could be getting up to around gale force in the marine parts of Auckland, and blustery conditions moving up and around really the western side in particular, and also Southland, where, by the way, coastal Southland and Otago do have a temperature drop at the moment. Some places will be struggling to even reach the teens, but it's not just the lower South Island. The whole eastern side of both islands are going to be several degrees below average as a result of the colder change coming out of the Southern Ocean. And remember, Australia, they're dealing with a heat wave. So on Thursday, there is a bit of a change. It does warm up a little bit around New Zealand as we get a bit of a westerly quarter wind returning, but it's only brief. Rain returns to the west coast on Thursday. Most other places do dry out. But on Friday, in comes the next southerly change with a cold front attached to it. Now, the cold front will be pretty short-lived. It sort of rushes northwards, a burst of showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm, and the winds turn from those warmer nor'westers to the colder south to southwesterlies, and you see that dark blue line. That's really an indicator of colder air coming our way. So a cool down on Friday once again, but look at Saturday's setup. This is an interesting one. Now, the heat wave in Australia, very significant. Lots of states, most of the states getting into the 40s this week, and some might even reach 50 degrees over the next couple of days. That red line indicates that hot air, that's the thickness of the air, and it shows all that hot weather spreading out in that nor'wester, trying to pull it to New Zealand. Now, our hottest ever temperatures in New Zealand, both recorded in Canterbury, Rangiora and Timaru. I believe it was 42.6 from memory. I might be wrong, but I think that's what it was. That was caused by a very strong nor'west flow like this one. So if it wasn't for these colder changes, we might be pushing into some sort of record challenging temperatures if we were to get that. So on Saturday, it looks all like it's setting up that way, but when we go to Sunday, the red line retreats northwards because this storm in the Southern Ocean is sort of pushing it like that and allowing this windier, cooler southwest flow to move on in. So we are not likely to get the Australian heat wave. We're likely to have a spring-like pattern right through until Christmas, with below average temperatures hugging southern and eastern coastlines, potentially of both islands, but especially around the south. So a little unsettled. That is normal in December. It's not summer really. And I always believe, as I said yesterday, that summer in New Zealand is pretty much January and February and maybe a start of March. December is very much like spring, but we do get a number of weeks around late November and December that do start to feel like summer most years. So there we go. That is the forecast. I'll be back again on Wednesday with the very latest. Oh, and one last thing. The Santa tracker for 2019 is back. You'll find it on our homepage at Weather Watch and also on our free app. And of course, it goes live properly on Christmas Eve. We'll see you again tomorrow.